Good morning. Back. We're back. There's some more to this game. It's 25 days. We're on day 14. We're just going to keep it going. We got some more to do. I'm going to put on my socks first, though. All right, here we go. Okay, where were we? My sensitivity's higher. Maybe not. I don't know. All right, let's get a signal going right now. I think when we stopped last time, we had finished our challenges, sent out a bunch of stuff. Where is this thing? It's tiny. There's no signals. They don't exist. Alright, hopefully that saves us from that happening again. That was pretty strange. I never had that happen before. Just like none of the signals are out there. Alright, let's check our email. Okay, we got our daily tasks done. We sent that package. We sent the package with all the extra threes I had in it. We gotta buy some coffee, and we gotta buy some food. We're out of food, I think. Let's go around and turn all the lights on. Before it gets dark and the aliens come out. And we need some more drives and boxes, I guess. Let's look. Alright, we definitely want a bag of coffee. Let's get a few more of these. We'll do like 8, 10, 9, whatever that is. A couple boxes. And we need to grab some food. Let's grab 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those. Some of those. Let's do some more MREs. That's 210. Excuse me? Why did you close? What else do we want? Let's double up on the coffee. If there's only 3 uses in the coffee bag, we probably want a little more. And get, oh, let's get one of these. I want to try this. 300. Shelf? Let's see what a shelf looks like. And, the taco. We'll spend the rest on upgrades. We will get, precise. Did I miss it? Did I look away when that just changed? Surely not. Okay, no. That's pretty good. We might as well get that going. We're tired as hell. Let's do this right away. Make ourselves some coffee so I can get through this process. What did we pick up? We just picked up a bunch of drives. And some food. Let's move this all the way over here. Let's turn these back on real fast, just so I can see if this actually still says 3. 10. Okay, that's hype. That's awesome, actually. That's really good. That's way better than I thought it was. That taco sounded pretty hard. Okay, you get 20 out of a taco. That's fair. You only get 25 out of a burger. Oh no, you get 20 out of a burger too. Where's my other cup at? Alright, we gotta take our time a little more. Why did I even bring this over? I was just gonna drink the whole thing anyway. Alright. Another signal. One more. Another one. Alright, let's check our servers out. Make sure we're all good. These guys are good. Those guys are good. Oh, I left stuff in that box, didn't I? I didn't grab the shelf and the beacon. All of those are good. Is it? Let's go like that. No. Shit. Alright, it ain't on this one. Going quick. Let's get this one out of here. Put that one in. What do you sound like now? Just some warbles. Okay. Very good, very good. Wow, this is kind of way bigger than I thought it was. That's a shelf. Let's put it over here. Never gonna use it for anything over there. If I put it over here, I might put something on it, you know? Beautiful. Alright, this one's done. That does sound like nothing again. Is it 2019? 2022, current year, coming up? Absolute bottom right. That's kind of cool. Maybe that means it's special. Or that'll do. What else? Alright, so I think it's reading this. I'm gonna take this. What's that do? I mean, it's definitely reading this and whatever that is. What do you do now that you're extended? I mean, it reads it even when it's not extended. Let's put this in our pocket. We'll take it out to... I kind of want to take it out to S, U, W, and Y. Just to get a feel for how far away these things are. Like, if W's here, you know, or all the way at the edge, I'll know that... Like, it can't all be all the way at the edge, right? This one's got to be in there. So V's got to be all the way at the edge, probably. Like, V would be right here. And then, so W would be right here. But I don't know that, you know? I want to know that. It might be, like, right here. And then I would know I could go out to V and just go, like... northwest a little bit. Northeast a little bit. To find them. Just don't know how to find them. But we'll take that with us in the morning. Start. Maybe those aren't the ones I want to put in my head, though. Maybe I put them at the corners. VP with T. That would give me a really good idea where things are, honestly. Okay. Let's pull this one out and play it. See what it sounds like. Doesn't really sound like anything. Just like some clicking. Totally okay. Alright, this one's almost done already. I just hear this. Huh. I thought I was just hearing the drone. Maybe not. I don't know what I was hearing. Oh my god. You couldn't be a little guy and peek over that window. Some sort of gigantic alien was peeking in at me. Stand on that. Can't stand on this when it's like that. I thought I was just standing on top of these. Maybe not. Maybe it was a different type of thing. I guess this is not the same as that sort of palette. Oh, we can pick this up. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good to know, I guess. We do stand on top of these, though, right? Know how to get on top of it. Okay. Okay, now we just gotta figure out how we get up. Maybe we do knock you over. Alright, now we gotta figure out how we get up on top of that guy. Can we jump from here? Can't even hardly get up on top of the rock. Can't make that one. Ooh, that felt close, actually. Alright, we did it. We can officially retrieve this. Oh, we can crouch jump up on top of that. We didn't need to do all that shit. I forgot I was playing a Source game. We can't open those. I wonder if we can open those if we get a crowbar. Maybe we'll buy the crowbar next. Ouch. Oof. We never cleaned all this up. I swear I just saw a mushroom. Where'd he go? There was a burger behind these guys the entire time. There's a burger behind you. No, but there's a drive with a signal on it. That's kind of weird. Let's go see what it is. Exactly 1 megabyte. Alright, Lamau on that stuck drive. What a loser. What? Process it. Surely there's something important on that. One zero two ones. Oscar Charlie. That's pretty easy. There's a 1. Here's a 0. We'll throw one up at, you know what? I feel like I keep seeing them down top left. Go up towards top left. This is reversed, so... Oscar Charlie. I keep seeing them over here. We're gonna go out here. Go to, R. Whatever R is. We're gonna keep that one. We'll make this one into a 1. Did this change at all now that we... This? It changed in that it got rid of all the signal. Alright, let's throw this here. Grab our drive. Oh, we're already at like 69. Nice. That one was easy. I think this one is the one we're just gonna give away. We'll process that other one a little bit more. Just to make sure. Let's grab one of these real fast. We gotta buy some more paper too. Oscar Charlie. Let's do R first. SP target Romeo? We'll go drop our beacon off at Romeo. Because I think that's the closest one to this guy. Let's go out into the woods. At the dark. Oh, I had my flashlight on the entire time and my battery's gone, so let's grab a battery too. Alright. Ouch. Oof. Let me up. Let me up, please. Something moving around up there. There's a light. I see him. Let's go see what he's doing. Oh, he's got like spider legs. Oh, he's creepy. Did he spot me? Where are you running to? I think he ran away. Okay. Let's go to Romeo. Let's, you know what? That's knowledge gained. We know a little more now. I don't really know what to make of that. But he was basically right where we expected him to be. Let's be target. Shit. Which one was the closer one? Oscar? I think. And let's just place this here. Why don't you want to stay up? Alright, well that was cool. Cool to finally see one. Oh, he's back. Where you running to, bro? Wish I could tell where he goes. He's too fast. Hey, I'm coming to get you. He just runs away from me. I don't see him. Let's go do our thing. Some sort of mantis legs. This is where the picnic was. I've seen this before. This isn't new to me. That creeped me out so bad the first time. I think that plays every time you walk past that, though. I think we picked the wrong satellite, too. What's happening here? We're running all the way out to Oscar. And that's not the right one. Should have done Charlie. But that's alright. We'll just have a shorter trip on the way back. I think that one's Charlie, and that one's Oscar, maybe? Oof, ouch. Ooh, owie. Not clear. One of these ones is Charlie. We're running right past it. Oscar 142A8 BRZ2. See. Let's get this over with and go back home. Getting pretty wiped out. Pretty sleepy, boy. QJM1QJYTB. Let's be. Hey, they're already up. We should just kill all while we walk back. Thanks. Alright, let's just, start another one up. Oscar Charlie 2110. 2110. Oscar Charlie. I think we just drink coffee from now on. I don't think we ever sleep again. Let's see. This was the one we found behind the thing, right? Exactly 1 MB. Yeah, we destroyed it by processing it. That's okay though. It's a signal. I don't know if it'll count when we sell it, but at worst we're losing 30 bucks, you know? Okay, that's good. That's good. Servers are good. Oh yeah, let's look at this. Okay, so Romeo is the exact corner, basically. That's good to know. Maybe that means we don't need that anymore, though. Because that means we know this is Romeo, we know this is whatever that one is. The same thing over here. We can figure it all out now. It's just like the farthest satellites out are in line with like the third ring in. So Sierra's like right here. Maybe that's knowledge gained and we don't need to do that again. I think that guy's looking for his ship. He wasn't that far from it. Like that spaceship that was in the picnic was like right here-ish. He's like looking around over here. Like he misplaced it. Daily task is all good. Package is good. We didn't found anything. Thanks, Dr. All. Um... Hmm. Let's grab a digital map next. Let's see what that looks like. It's kind of a weird looking planet. Nice. We already got that. That'll do. Okay, let's see. Let's pick something out. Put on. We're not gonna do I think we'll put the Phoenix Lights documentary on. It's been a minute since I saw that. I still have it. No, don't play there. All right, that's cool.
I know that I did everything in my power
This is so much
as an
louder than
individual, as
Alien
a
was.
scientist, as a learned person, to find a logical explanation for what I witnessed and photographed. I have yet to find it. If anything, it has opened up existed. It's time we get this out in the open. It, accept it, and study it. When there's a documentary that shows that there's a whole bunch of us that have managed to suspend our disbelief long enough to and to inquire and to share, that
What should I be doing right
it
now?
really brings the sharing closer.
I really don't know.
And more
Really,
people
like,
will come forward and share.
at the point where I need to get down or download faster again. Now that I don't need to sleep. We're just doing it to pass the time.
At all generational levels, and bringing the children up to understand this phenomenon is vital.
That sure didn't look like nothing. Oh. We'll set that right back there. Let's make this a little quieter, actually.
It's important that children know more about UFOs so they know more about other living beings.
If I saw a
Oh, that's
spaceship
kinda neat.
hovering over, I would
I guess
be
it's raining now? It is raining
It's
now.
important for people to keep their hearts open for people from other planets.
I wouldn't know what to think.
Found out that I was definitely being visited by other intelligent life.
I wouldn't believe it.
I would probably feel like really cool, like honored that like other life forms were visiting me of all people.
That would be proof that there was some other life form.
They aren't the same of us, but
It's
none
all
of
over the
us
place.
same as anybody.
I would freak
It'll
out.
get done though. It's going.
I would just freak out.
I guess excitement, you know, what's this gonna mean?
I wouldn't know how they would want to approach me,
I would probably be startled and surprised.
or if they would be friendly,
I would work very hard to figure out how to make first contact.
or if we could understand each other right off.
I would try to be as non-threatening as possible
I would be a little frightened.
and
Oh.
try to find out what's going on.
Man, what the heck? Oh, interesting. It cuts off the top. Strange lights flow over Phoenix. 1997.
In 1995, both my husband and I witnessed 3 amber orbs in a triangle formation, one on top and 2 closely aligned underneath, very close to our home, about 100 yards from our home, hovering above a private desert area. It was startling and it was amazing. At the same time, there was nothing there but blackness and these 3 amber orbs. And something told me to take everything in, the size, the shape, the color, the distance. They were about 3 to 6 feet each. They were definitely oval shape. And the amber color within each orb, and I call them an orb because the light did not extend outside the edge at all.
Man,
It was totally
storm knock it out again.
self-contained. It was very uniform amber color, and it didn't glare at all. Every other light out there glares. And we have a beautiful panoramic view of the city skyline, so we know what helicopters and plane lights and street lights and so forth. Every light out there glares.
Burnt a
These
lot.
did not. Very soothing, very mesmerizing. And I thought, if I don't get a picture of this, nobody's going to believe it. And as I ran to the closet to get my camera, my husband calls me back. He says, "Get over here quick. One of them is disappearing." And as I rushed back, we both watched in awe as the top orb started to dim as if on a dimmer switch. It didn't budge at all. It didn't waver, it didn't take off. It just dimmed as if it was on a dimmer switch, as if once it disappeared, it was still there, but we didn't see it anymore. I got onto the balcony, shot a quick picture of the 2 bottom orbs, and immediately noticed an eerie silence, as if time had stopped. It was quite extraordinary, and as I'm staring at these 2 bottom orbs, I have to admit, it seemed that there was
No, we said we were gonna buy a crowbar, didn't
I
we?
put it on my mantle and kind of watched it for a little bit. And
Let's do
wondering if I'd ever
crowbar.
thought of what this was. Eventually put the picture away, but I have to tell you that even though the picture
Get some more
was
drive
out of sight,
boxes just to
the
fill that
thought
shelf
and
up
the
a little
memory
bit.
wasn't out of my mind. Did not
Make it
see
look
anything
cute.
for 2 years. 2 years passed, and not a hint of anything, even remotely close to these amber orbs. January 22nd, 1997. I noticed
We do need
3
more boat
amber
or more
orbs now
paper.
at a distance far west on the horizon. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, even though they're in a line formation, they were amber, they were in a formation, they were hovering for minutes, strangely similar to the 95 incident. The next night, the 3 amber
I wonder if we can
orbs
put
were
whatever
now
we want
in
on these
front of South
pictures, and that's why
Mountain.
they're
I know
like
they were
that.
in front of South Mountain because there's red blinking warning lights.
I
for
think
the
we can. They're the
airplanes that are
same
coming
as the
into Sky
TV.
Harbor just in front of South Mountain. And this was definitely lower and in front of South Mountain. And I thought, enough, I'm getting my video camera. I ran downstairs, I grabbed my video camera, I got out to the pool area. I took about 18 seconds worth, the battery went dead. I walk inside, hook up the battery.
One
run
second.
outside,
You're
they're
such a
gone.
whiner.
Now this was about 8 o'clock. About a half hour later, my husband comes up the drive and I gingerly walk outside and I said, "Honey, remember I told you about the amber orbs far west last night? Well, about a half hour ago, they were right in front of South Mountain. As I'm pointing, like this, they reappear in the same spot." And And I thought, I have to get a picture of this. And I ran upstairs, I grabbed my 35 millimeter, get out onto the balcony. As I'm ready to shoot the 3 bottom orbs, suddenly 6 amber orbs in a row, totally equidistant from each other, massive span across, pop up above the 3. And I started clicking away. I happened to get 6 pictures in a row. As the 3 bottom orbs were disappearing, I caught this top formation, which, by the way, in retrospect, was in the same location and the same formation as 2 months later.
Alright, the storm's still
on March
pushing this
13th,
thing all over the
1997,
place, but we're almost
during
done.
the mass sighting. And I ran in to call the Arizona Republic because I wanted to get somebody out there to tell me what it was. And I get an operator on the phone, and I said, quick, you got to get somebody out there. There's
Our delivery? I want to hit escape. I think that pauses that. That thing doesn't pause this.
As I finish my sentence,
But I think it does pause the delivery.
by the next morning, I figured there must be a logical explanation, and I called the Arizona City desk again and asked if anybody had called the night before to report strange lights in front of South Mountain. The operator got off. She got right back on. She said, nope, nobody called. Well, I know I called. So I said, well, we did see something that was strange. Who can I call to find out what they might be? And she said, well, Luke Air Force Base sometimes sends out experimental maneuvers, and they don't tell the public about them. And I thought, oh, that might be a good lead. And I call Luke Air Force Base. I get a warning lieutenant on the phone.
Kind of cool. I like it. Alright, let's drop.
Amber orbs in a row, totally equidistant from each other.
There are another 10,000 Arizonans who saw the same thing.
Right there. This we'll just throw right here in front of the TV.
The availability of witnesses was extraordinary.
The data speaks for itself. Plus, I have photographs that cannot be explained or denied.
Thousands of people saw more than stars in the night sky.
The mystery remains unsolved and controversial.
Last night, shortly after 8 p.m., hundreds, maybe thousands of Arizonans reported seeing a triangular-shaped object with 3 distinct lights.
They saw strange lights all over the state.
There was nothing there but blackness and these 3 amber orbs.
The people who saw the lights will say the lights were orange, they were bright, and they were big, and they were like nothing they've ever seen.
Alright, that seems good enough. We spread it out a little bit. That looks good.
Didn't look like anything.
Eyewitnesses who saw it say it's like nothing they've ever seen before.
On March 13th of 1997, I had left law enforcement and I pursued private investigation.
Kind of like a noise, kind of spacey noise.
And I was happened to be at 27th Avenue Van Buren doing some paperwork. I just would look up every now and then, and I just looked up and something kind of caught my eye. but it seemed just to kind of be floating and just, just a constant speed, but, nothing that I could associate with.
I went outside, this must have been around 10-ish, and I'm looking off towards the north, and kind of coming in directly at me are these three enormous lights, and they are moving incredibly slow. And this really piqued my curiosity.
That evening, the hospice volunteers and I were out on the patio discussing our patients and discussing the work that we were doing with hospice. And we were so engaged in conversation and looking at each other in the eye that all of a sudden, when somebody in our group said, "Oh my gosh,
Oh,
what is
that's
that
too
up
bad.
above?"
I don't get to pick
we
what
all looked
picture's
up
on
at
it.
the same time and saw this amazing, huge, dark, silent object that appeared to just be right over our head.
It was awesome. I mean, we were telling ourselves not to blink.
It was very close to the ground. It was just like floating over the housetops.
I don't think. Let's look at this real fast and just make sure that there's not some other secret.
To the north, that the altitude is less than 3,000 feet. The object I saw and my wife saw went under this plane.
The first thing that struck me is that they were just a V-shaped formation. Well, it's at night, and guys wouldn't have been flying in a V-shaped formation, in a VIC, we'd call it a VIC. So they would be in a VIC, and then all of a sudden I realized, wow, I don't see any navigation lights or anti-collision lights. So now I'm looking at 5 lights passing overhead silently at a very slow rate. And it also occurred to me that they were flying too slow to stay in the air if it was an aircraft.
Many of the witnesses to the March 13th event described a V formation of 5 lights,
okay.
2 lights trailing. In fact, there were a couple of witnesses that described the 2 lights docking and undocking.
Alright, that's too bad about the picture. I think we'll buy the other ones just to see what they
Now,
are.
here we have in Dr. Kitai's photographs a full 2 months before the Phoenix sighting. We have 5
I want
lights in
one
a
of
V
these.
formation and 2 trailing lights. So obviously this object was around for a long time before then. Just something made it decide that it was going
It's still
to fly
raining out?
over
It
the
is.
entire state on the night of March 13th.
We could not see the whole object from front to back, from side to side. It was so big.
I would gauge this object to be several football fields. I mean, like a mile, maybe more than a mile, maybe even 2 miles. It was huge.
And it just kept going over our heads and going and going and going. And it seemed like we could actually just reach up and touch it. It was so low.
I like to use the old peace sign, stretch it out. But it was something like this. And as it passed, all we could really see was the left wing of the craft as it passed in front of us. That was how low it was as it passed. And as it started to pass in front of us, I put my hand up to where the nose of the craft was, and I took my other arm out to where the end of the wing was, and it was well over 30 inches. And I said to my wife at the time, I said, that's a mile long.
The lights did not move relative to each other. Had they been in a formation of separate aircraft, there would have been a slight relative movement I would have perceived, and they stayed pretty much just locked in position. So I'm pretty sure it was a single aircraft, wider than any other aircraft flying today.
It was quite obvious to me this was not a conventional aircraft.
As the craft flew overhead, the lights resembled can lights like you see in the ceiling, so fairly defined as circles in this V-shaped formation, but no harsh glare to them.
It struck me.
Alright, so this doesn't help me with this, huh? Let's do this again. This is an object we've never used before. Let's just... Alright, pick up. Can't do anything else with it. Alright, just deals a lot of damage to wooden props. It's a little unwieldy compared to the rock, if I'm honest. What's this? Is it ammo? I had a gun, it broke. Throw this on the floor right there.
They blocked out the stars
These lights, though, it did seem somewhat denser. It seemed darker, like there was a shape or form going on there.
Can I jump on top of these crouch jump? I can. Oh my god. No idea.
Would have to be controlled by something that had a pretty strong engine just to sustain flight. There
What am I doing? Alright, signal.
There was not a hum.
Signal.
There was not a jet engine. There was not a
Save.
engine. There was not a jet prop engine.
Sounds like
There
static.
was absolutely
Over here.
no sound.
Grab.
Just three beautiful lights coming towards us, and it seemed to move effortlessly. It just glided right over.
This was one solid object, one craft.
Oh, we're hungry again.
One big, large boomerang.
Everybody that called me said the same thing. It was huge, it was slow, it was low, it was totally silent. They could see some lights, somewhere between 5 and 9 lights on it at any given time. Not like spotlights, they were more like glowing, gaseous globes.
What struck me immediately about the Phoenix Lights incident was the sheer number of witnesses. The availability of the witnesses. This was peak time for the comet Hale-Bopp that seemed to come out of nowhere a few months earlier. It brought thousands of people out of their homes in the early evening to see what the comet would look like as it got closer and closer.
And when you think about thousands of people living along the most populated corridor of Arizona, outside on a very clear, quiet night, looking up purposely in the sky for a glimpse of the Hale-Bopp comet, when the phenomena passed right over their heads, 30 miles an hour. Some people did see it take off at a tremendous speed.
I think they went out of their way to let us know that they're here. That was a parade that came right through Sky Harbor airspace, protected airspace, right through downtown Phoenix.
When we first started getting the calls, it was more in the north area of Phoenix, and as the calls progressed, it was traveling Central Phoenix and South Phoenix. Everyone described it the same way. It was 5 lights or 7 lights, V or wedge shaped. It was like...
What else can I jump on? Oh, let's go back to where you were. You know what? That'll do. That'll have to do.
Falsifiable anyway. It was being validated by most everybody that saw it.
We had hundreds of calls. They were all saying the same thing. You could tell they weren't on drugs or drunk. They weren't kooks. They were legitimate people calling. We just couldn't believe it. Nothing like this has ever happened. I worked there 24 years. Never, ever had calls like this, ever.
We found quickly that there was a complete cross-section in the Phoenix Lights witnesses of our society, from truck drivers to attorneys, to doctors, lawyers, aerospace people.
Let's go eat some food, drink some coffee. Let's do a little, that.
you could have heard their voices. They just were astounded. When they saw those lights, they knew it wasn't something of this earth. It wasn't flares, it wasn't a helicopter, it wasn't anything they'd ever seen before. It was totally not of this earth.
My emotion was that of just kind of wonderment and trying to figure out, what am I looking at? What am I seeing here?
I wasn't frightened. I was just in awe of it because it was so abnormal.
I don't remember anyone being frightened. They were
Pretty good.
amazed and excited and like unbelievable what's going on. They just wanted to know what is going on. You know, what is that? Do you know?
How many of these do I got?
Usually when you call...
Alright, one more and we'll have a full box. We'll send one out.
I especially was very, very intrigued and excited with the idea that this is something miraculous that's happening right now.
This was a planned event. It was not accidental. It was very well orchestrated, to say the least, even an elegant production, if you will.
I was looking at the newspaper to see if there was any information on the strange lights in the sky. I found a very small article where it quoted a Phoenix police spokesperson who said the 911 center only got a few calls on the matter. And I thought, this is ridiculous. So that night when I went into work, I talked to my supervisor and I asked her, you know, what gives? You know that's not true. She said, I know, but I have no idea, you know, why they said that. And I was just thinking to myself, oh, the cover-up begins already.
After I heard all of this over the next
The
couple of
cover-up.
months, I thought something really strange has happened, and I want to know what it is.
It was Jim Delatosa that suggested to
how many of these do we got?
who was
4,
interviewing us for the Phoenix Lights that
10.
if they wanted to try to get a public official to make a statement, they should just go down to City Hall and see if they could corner someone. Well, they happened to catch Frances Barwood when she was on her way into a city council meeting.
As I was going into the meeting, I was stopped by a reporter, and she had with her a TV cameraman and a microphone man. And they started asking me about these lights that went over Phoenix. And I thought something had just happened, and I said, when did this happen? And she said, well, it was actually March 13th. And she said, we asked the city what it was, if they could find out, and the answer from the mayor's office was, we don't have UFOs over Phoenix. And I thought that was a pretty strange thing, being that nobody had said it was a UFO. They just wanted to find out what it was. So I went into the meeting, and came my turn, and I said there were these reporters, the reporter outside, and had asked some questions about these lights that went over Phoenix last March 13th, and could we find out what it was?
And she thought it was a fair question, was asked of her, and she wanted to know herself, and she asked the question in chambers, and
yeah, this is so
got
small.
quite an interesting reaction.
Everybody just kind of turned around and looked at me like, why did you ask that? And it was like this silence. and I felt kind of uneasy, and then one of the other council members made some kind of a joke, and they went on. They didn't assign me 2 staff members. They didn't say who was going to look into it. They didn't say who was going to get back to me. And I thought that was really unusual. After the meeting was over, one of the assistant city managers came up to me and said, you shouldn't have asked that question. And this is the first I heard about it. I mean, nothing else was ever discussed with me at any point. And I said, why? And he said,
It's a little
because
warbly.
it's something that they don't want to deal with. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you know, the mayor's office didn't want to have to make any kind of a statement. They already issued a statement, and it just didn't want to have to go into it. And I thought this was, you know, so unusual, something fly. March 13th, 1997, which has come to be known as the Phoenix Lights, was because I thought, you know, this is a public safety issue, and we need to know whatever it was in case it comes back, in case, you know, it happens again, or in case there's a danger to the people or buildings or whatever because we have antennas that are high. And I couldn't understand the negative reaction that I got for asking this when I thought, let me say, to me, a perfectly innocent question.
Well, that she was pilloried in the press and made fun of. The positive effect, however, was that hundreds of people came out of the woodwork and made phone calls to her office and her home.
My answer machine at work totally filled up. Since they couldn't get any more calls into my office, they started calling other council members' office, leaving messages for me. They called the mayor's office, leaving messages. We estimate we got several thousand phone calls. We decided to call back every single one. Over the next couple of months, I personally talked to every single one. Everybody but one. Everybody but one told the exact same story. And the one was the one that they publicized, which was a kid who said he saw the airplanes. Well, you know, when you have like 700 to 1 saying this was not airplanes, I had active military, retired military, police officers, firemen. They were out that night with the whole Little League side, the parents side, people jogging, people shopping.
That was really an important single event in opening up the case for us, was Frances Barwood. I give her a lot of credit for her courage, especially holding forth and holding up through all the criticism that she got.
I believe she was very courageous, and it's going to take more people like her and like Dr. Lynn, the author of The Phoenix Lights, coming out and lending credibility and lending their name to a phenomenon that I believe is very real and needs to be studied.
Wrote a letter to Senator McCain. Senator McCain sent his letter to the National Archives. In his letter, he didn't say I was a councilwoman. He said he had a citizen who wanted to know what happened on March 13th, 1997. And the letter, the whole tone of the letter was like kind of sarcastic. And I found out that when you send something to the National Archives, they don't answer, they file it.
The ultimate, shall we say, insult was the governor of the state of Arizona, Fife Symington, finally calling a news conference saying that he has finally got the answer to the Phoenix Lights, and he introduces some staff member dressed up as a space alien. Give me a break. If we continue to treat this particular issue that way, we are doing a disservice to our children, generations and generations down the road.
Right after his press conference, I started getting so many phone calls. People saying, I can't believe what he did, and, you know, this is serious. And it was very upsetting to a lot of people. And people got very angry because here is the top elected official of the state making fun of what I estimate to be close to probably 10,000 people saw this.
Pay attention to what went on here. Pay attention in particular to the witnesses, the citizens.
Alright, so it does disappear when I destroy it. Alright, that's good enough.
Don't lean on the government. Don't point the finger. Don't go to court. Don't waste your time, because they're just doing what they're supposed to be doing. The national security. It's their job. It's important that they maintain secrets for our defense, because there's a lot of strife in the world still, a lot of crazy people. We're, of course, in the age of terrorism. So let's not point the fingers at the government. Let's open our arms and our minds and our hearts to the citizens who have extraordinary tales to tell.
When they came out several months later, 5 months later, with the flare explanation, I
They were not flares. As flares fall, up and down, they don't fall. Even in the wind, they don't maintain that altitude.
Not one of my callers ever said that they were in a downward motion or flickering out. They were all the callers, they were traveling. Most of them just saw the lights, 5 to 7 lights. Some of the callers did see the actual V or wedge-shaped craft, and it was a craft, it was not flares.
This is off of the video from Dr. Kitai, and we have the triangle formation again. You know, airplanes dropping flares would have a difficult time getting a perfect triangle time after time.
The flares that the military claimed they dropped on the night of March 13th would be an illumination flare, which would provide light for people on the ground to see what the enemy might be doing.
I do work with flare on a daily basis. They weren't flares. I knew they weren't conventional aircraft. Flares emit smoke, and the illumination from the flare would illuminate the smoke as well, so you would have a trail from the flare.
These lights up here represent aircraft flares. If you notice, they're not in any straight line. They vary in distance between each other, and if you look at the top, you can see the smoke. As the flare falls, it leaves a trail of smoke above it from the burning magnesium in the flare.
Flares are moving relative to each other. They're moving at different speeds. The Phoenix lights are rock steady.
When you're looking at these points of light, if you were trying to decide are they part of a large vehicle or are they, what you would look at is the position. In this case, these points of light stay identical in relationship to each other. If they were aircraft flares, they would be dropping slowly and moving laterally back and forth relative to each other.
If I do a histogram of frame 1, frame 100, frame 200, we're running video 30 frames a second, 1,800 frames a minute. So we have almost 6,000 frames. So I take every 100 frames, measure the brightness, see if it's changing. And if we built a graph over time, flares, the graph of the change looks like this. The Phoenix light, flat graph.
I have footage of these objects from upwards of 20 minutes, so there's no way that it was a flare.
The notion of flares and things was just so absurd when seeing the pictures that you discounted it immediately. And I realized it was a manifestation that there was intelligence trying to let us know we're here. Now, let's look at this.
As we had more people come forward through Francis Barwood going public and asking the question, hundreds of people came forward through that, to a great body of case reports we had from Peter Davenport at the National Center. It was clear that I had to do a lot of field work if we were going to even begin to do the animation that we create what went on to properly illustrate what the witnesses were describing.
We've done motion studies of the different witness drawings, the different videos that we had, and built a scientific model that we then turned and moved it in as many positions as we could to find something that was either a formation of lights or lights on some object that no matter how we moved it, it fit with what was on the video and what the witnesses said. This is great to have Dr. Kitai's film, 35 millimeter film that she had shot in addition to the videotape and all the other people's videotapes. We had this high resolution film that I could scan the orbs at 1200 dots per inch and be able to then look at the orbs as a very large object. I can look at the very fine gradations that are out on the edge. I can look frame to frame to frame for changes, or that it's remaining the same. I have more data to deal with. It is my belief that very valuable information comes out of studying the color content of the entire picture and of every single light.
What we're doing is looking at a composite image, an RGB image, and studying the nature of the colors that form that image. And they're not at all the same. You know, it's a real apples and oranges kind of thing.
Yes.
And I think this data is very valid, and I don't know that it can be easily refuted.
When I had the experience of seeing some lights out in the distance, the first thing I did as a, I guess, inborn skeptic myself was just try to run through every possible solution.
Man, we keep getting this like right on it. It just like starts out right there.
Anything it could be. And what I realized pretty quickly was nothing fit. Nothing that I could possibly run through. It definitely wasn't flares. It wasn't airplanes. It wasn't streetlights. It wasn't something on the mountain. It wasn't anything that I could think of.
And it also didn't make sense that they were saying it was helicopters flying in formation, because there was no sound, and even the most quiet helicopter still makes a sound.
The key is here is everything we have makes noise. We don't have anything that's quiet. People will say, well, it was stealth. Well, stealth is radar evasive. It has nothing to do with what you hear. It's radar evasive, not sound evasive. And
It's like a screech, just like a screechy noise.
Totally quiet. Still amazing.
Not very interesting. Not very interesting. We haven't been getting any good ones. We're knocking them out. We're killing them.
They did seem to move as a unit.
Got so many, but they're all just like planets. They're all just screeches and warbles and
I don't believe it's the military testing
thrumming.
top secret code. If they were to do such a thing,
They all start out as just static.
not above a major city.
If our
Uh,
or a military contractor is making something like this, they made a big mistake in letting it get loose and fly out of control right through the center of Phoenix and air traffic, turn around, flying through military bases.
If this is some sort of secret aircraft by one or more military organizations, they shouldn't be going around having it displayed in Phoenix and having it displayed in Mexico and having it displayed in other parts of the world and then making believe that it's not present. If it's going to be visualized and it's going to be photographed, then people should stand up and own it.
My initial supervisor, when I first arrived here, Luke, he
It's
was here
down.
in 1997 when the incident occurred, and he remembers that 2 jets were scrambled from one of the squadrons on Luke.
Now, as far as I know, nobody ever took a shot at it, except the camera.
We had an insider's report, a ground crewman who had to help one
that's
of the
Earth.
pilots for one of the pairs of jets that went out of his craft because he was so shaken up by it.
One of the pilots stated that they have a visual on it, they've got gun camera film of it, they have no radar tape of it. It scared the hell out of them.
Allegedly, a crewman from Luke Air Force Base called the UFO Reporting Center, Peter Davenport, about 3 a.m. that morning. Very detailed description of this mile-wide triangle craft traversing right over 7th Avenue and Indian School about that time as well.
Nothing's ever been made public, to my knowledge, about instructions on how to respond to this.
That seemed to be the only one that I couldn't pick apart.
We kept saying, what is that? What is that? And it wasn't until after the events happened and it disappeared to the south in the darkness that we went inside. We stayed outside for a couple seconds, and we went inside. And she sat on the couch, and I went to the bar, and
We step out of our field of history into the universe, seeking only peace and friendship. We teach if we are called upon, we hope if we are fortunate. We know too well that our planet and all its inhabitants are but a small part of this immense universe around us, and it is with humility and hope that we face this.
Let's see if we can process that one a little bit. That one doesn't sound like anything. All right.
sit on a stool and I took my glasses off and we stared at each other for 5, 10, 15 minutes, who knows? And I got up and I wanted to go back outside, and as I grabbed the door, I looked my wife right in the eye and I said, "We just saw our first UFO." And she looked at me back and she goes, "I know."
It was just amazing. The credible, wonderful, detailed descriptions that witnesses shared. And you knew it was from their heart. You knew that they had seen something extraordinary.
I like Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is probably the one that's true. It's an extraterrestrial spacecraft.
An asteroid? That's the first asteroid we've seen.
I'm learning that this is happening worldwide. What's going on here? What is this?
There's amber orbs here in Belgium, amber orbs in formation in Soviet Union, triangle formation in Illinois. There's a triangle formation in New Jersey.
Many other countries, at least 20 other countries. Russia has been studying these phenomena for over 20 years, they admit, and their bottom line. That they could promote universal peace. What a beautiful message. And just recently, Mexico, the Mexican Air Force has now come forward to say that they've had the sightings of these orbs around their aircraft, which, when you look at my pictures, are identical information and characteristics.
When you test the Mexico orbs,
That's too bad. We like processed all of the.
they look just like the Phoenix light.
Speech out of it.
A very noted PhD psychologist has been studying pilot reactions to these orbs. In fact, he's also studied what they called Foo Fighters in World War II. The identical phenomena, these rigid orbs in formation, just like what my husband and I saw outside our bedroom window in 1995. They've been around a long, long time.
Throughout recorded history, humans have been fascinated with the nature of light beings, of anomalous lights in the sky, of which we sometimes interpret as angels, or we sometimes interpret as light beings, or we sometimes interpret as ETs, or we interpret as literally the shining God herself or himself.
Maybe these things have been occurring all of the time and we just haven't been paying attention to them. Or we've been told, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
There's way too much information.
Really doesn't sound like anything.
In a ball of light, Ezekiel's wheel. You could just go on, Bible story after Bible story talking about what was happening. Now, if we just start discounting witnesses and witness testimony, then we get in an awful murky place where we'd be tossing out probably 90% of the Bible.
There are
2 zeros, 1 2.
tons of paintings.
Okay, this will be our 2, and we'll just chuck some zeros in.
From the 16 and 1700s, depicting things flying through the skies.
And part of that chunk of
Sierra November.
is in acknowledging the existence throughout the
That's not bad.
of phenomena like this, the roles that have played,
That guy's moving around, huh?
and especially the quote native cultures were open to receiving it.
The Gila River Indian Reservation on this side of the Estrella Mountains.
That's kind of like. That's kind of right where I gotta go. November would be like right here. Sierra's right here. November would be like right here.
Some of the Native American tribes, everyone is very differently. Some of them go out to seek them, to seek their knowledge, to find out what they know.
And even further,
Alright. 1, 2.
governments like the Belgian government, the French government, the Brazilian government, the Mexican governments have now opened up their funding.
2 zeros.
What I believe is a very real reality that a very high percentage of people have experienced.
I saw the Phoenix lights, and then I saw.
Alright, let's go to November. Let's just see if we got problems first. Everybody's still up, it looks like. This is probably going to be done before we get there. We got good food. We got good sleepies.
Knew that they were there.
Let's start one of these. This is November right here. Can I see Sierra? Sort of. Be right in between here somewhere. Maybe a little to that side, a little to the right. Nothing in the sky. Oh, it's just him again. He's basically in the same spot. Alright, we're pinging, but Juliet's second to last, I'm pretty sure, so. Or we're calling, rather. November. It's 13 ENOMUOE. Sierra. Target Sierra. Gone. He's not gone. He's like looking for something up there. Let's go to Romeo and get our beacon back. I want to put them on these. I don't know what these are for. But if I start marking them on the map, maybe they'll make some sort of pattern. Now I know where the satellites are in relation to that radar dish, the radar scan. It's all much easier for me to tell where I gotta be to find the aliens and shit. Alright, we'll just move this a tiny little bit, actually. There's one right there, so... we don't even gotta move it very far. Excuse me? How did you get moved over? Why are you all the way across the room? It's a little concerning because, if I put this on the thing here, is he gonna roll away? You know? Like, he shouldn't roll away, right? Alright, there's one. Once we get some more of those, we'll lay some more out. Let's see if they make some sort of pattern. For now, it's going to be really hard to tell. Is that one right there? Yeah, there's one right there, too. They might just be like trail markers or something in this like totally fruitless exercise, but we'll find out. Oh dear. Owie. You know what? You're right. I'm looking at you. I see you. It's lunchtime. It's true. Let me go grab you lunch. Right. What's I doing? We fell down the hill. I'm going to Sierra. I think. EGQ WP1G. I think I want to go this way. Take the quick way down. Oof. All right, we're home.
They could sense it, that they could feel it.
That really set me on a journey.
Let's start this downloading now.
7 years. The first 4 years of which I actually started looking for a logical explanation, for a source and meaning for what I had witnessed and photographed. The more I look, the more I found. Such credible data from scientists, astrophysicists, nuclear physicists, astronomers, optical physicists, and on, that had been studying these phenomena for 20, 30 years. I had no idea.
I've been involved in hundreds of UFO cases in in-depth investigation. Thousands of pictures
Okay.
that I've looked at. About 1,000.
And for the daily, we wanted
examined in detail.
2012 Sierra November.
What is unique?
0 2012. Box it up. Drop our paper. Looks like Sierra November to me. Oop. Come and get it.
Where this much data exists over this amount of time, prior to and after a significant event. This is one of my favorite photographs taken by Dr. Kitai. Taken camera in the same location, the lights in the same location as the Phoenix lights, but taken a month after 9/11. The film was what convinced me that the characteristics were not those of these halogen lights and airplane lights and all the other kind of lights that I could get a measurement on and look, make the graph, the different kinds of flares, and separate out the color and the brightness. My conclusion about the Phoenix lights is that there is nothing that I can get a match to in the data table. It's not Hale-Bopp. It's not stars. It's not aircraft lights. It's certainly not car lights. For a number of reasons, it's not flares.
If it's not some sort of technology that's created by us, then we have to entertain seriously that it is some sort of expression of highly intelligent.
The size of the craft, the display, seemed so my suspicion is that it's precisely what we think it is. It's an alien craft.
Ultimately, it's going to be the people.
Look at the size of this guy's head. Oh my god.
Rather than the government.
Wow.
And the worst thing that could happen to us would be as if the government said, well, it was flares, go back to sleep.
For a long time, since the 1940s, there's a concerted effort.
Guy's brain must be gigantic.
From the public. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to hide it in plain sight. Make it so that credible experiences that come out, credible reports, sightings are surrounded with ridicule, surrounded with the debunkers who try and give prosaic explanations for something which just defies explanation.
There is a small percentage things that cannot be explained.
But even if it's only 1% that can be explained, or if it's 1/1000th of 1%, that's enough.
Not really anything on that one.
Tremendously significant because they're another wake-up call for people who are skeptical or people who are secretly wondering what it's all about. And the Phoenix lights were so visible, seen by so many, and so publicly acknowledged, even in the media.
If you can create a structured controversy, say, I'm going to let the flare story happen, knowing that a lot of people aren't going to believe it, some people are, but let's see how it goes. And then, let's get on the phone.
It was nice. That was easy.
Call up
Good,
USA
good.
Today, CBS, ABC, NBC,
Package received.
MSNBC,
Gathered some data.
let it
Processed
trickle
more.
down through the news
Fine.
management.
Can do that.
We think this story should be covered. You get your people there. And it happened. It happened in a big way.
It happened fast and turned a lot of heads, made worldwide news, and then it was denied.
Why wouldn't all these news media people who are in a perfect position to investigate all this, why aren't they the least bit curious? Why don't they want to know what it is?
Look what happened in '52 when all those craft flew around the Capitol building and everybody went, 4,000 people saw them and looked up and went, oh my God, oh my God. Nothing happened. The word barely got out across the country. That's not true anymore.
The Phoenix Lights is the first case. That's the first case where there was chat rooms about it. Microsoft Network Forums had a weekly chat room about the Phoenix Lights.
It was the Phoenix Lights website I had gone to, and the first thing I thought was just like the color and the shape of the lights. It was just like, this is what I saw.
That's the way that everything will go in the next wave for investigating UFO cases.
I was looking at my phone. That's my bad.
It's going to be
It was like static.
As sightings like the Phoenix Lights have happened elsewhere in the world, people can go, hey, it's just like we saw in Phoenix.
So many witnesses, thousands and millions of witnesses all over the planet are telling the media all over the planet basically the same story.
Phoenix Lights had global impact because of the international news that happened about it, not dismissing it. Not only was it a very significant mass sighting, many investigators call it the largest sighting ever, lasting the longest amount of time, seen by the largest number of people. Grand scale. But at another level, global media. It was all over the news everywhere for a long time, months and months. And then every year, it gets on the media again because there's something significant about it.
When I first joined the military, I put in for the simple fact that the occurrence of 9/11. I was hoping to see something myself.
When the orbs returned in January '98, I was on the roof of our building, Village Labs, having been on alert. Dr. Lynn
Some kind of screechy.
been alerted
Screechiness.
So everyone, the Phoenix Lights Video Witnesses Club, if you will, were all ready with their cameras in their various positions around the valley.
When I first stepped out on my balcony, I dropped my soda on the balcony and ran in to grab my video camera.
And I put the spotter scope right on it, zeroed in it, and it stayed right on it. And what was extraordinary is that light
what is that?
went off and it came on again over a 20-minute period, and it did not move from that position because it stayed fixed in the scope. I
Object.
have to tell you, I was really deeply impressed by the display that unfolded. As Jim came up to join me, we really were now together to witness a grand display of several orbs that were variously in a straight line, as if you could draw a ruler or lay a ruler end to end. Lights going on and off in the same positions, and then ending up in a triangle as if to communicate a simple geometric-based message.
A lot of the times the orbs will line up in a straight line. They'll move into patterns, mostly geometric patterns. Greater frequency of the triangular shape.
It was impressive.
It's pretty compelling.
I think society is influenced, of course, by Hollywood and the perception that, there's this fear element and that's a natural response.
Hollywood has really trained us to feel that aliens are scary and they're going to hurt us, and there's really no way to know what to expect except for what we've been trained to believe.
Hollywood likes the violence. All the movies and all the ET movies, every time ET and UFOs and all this is involved, 95% of it's violence, where they're attacking us, they're killing us. So a lot of people have a mindset right here that, hey, those are evil people, those are evil beings, they're here to hurt me. And yet, I think that's the furthest thing from the truth there is.
If I would see something in the daytime, big, huge thing coming flying over, I think I'd be a little afraid.
When children especially saw this mile-long triangle craft, they were scared. Their initial reaction was fear. But as it slowly not only children, but adults as well,
Oh, I can walk through them now. Okay.
felt a
Nobody I talked to said I was terrified. What they
Eh, that's not good. Not to have the wrong priorities, but if all the doors are open, maybe that means this one's open too.
If it were ours, the amount of propulsion needed to stay up because of our gravity, it would have destroyed buildings, houses, it would deafen people. People would have been wrecking cars. I mean, none of that happened. It was a totally friendly visit. No one was hurt. No one was
back on.
scared.
They didn't become blind, and nothing was dropped on them. Most people experienced was this phenomenal sense of wonder and awe and appreciation for being alive and
Okay.
at that moment.
Once all these things came together,
I feel like I might have missed something.
what a neat thing.
What's this? What is this? Hmm. Where did I not see those before? Alright.
You show up at the foot of somebody's bed, or you come down in lights. What's going to happen? You're going to frighten people.
5, 4, 4, 6, 7, 9, 7, 5.
It is important that people, at the very least,
What's this 2?
have an open mind. It is important that they are also very prepared and to deal with whatever happens.
I discovered in my own research that these powerful
Let's drop this thing on the ground.
throughout history.
Let's see if we are missing something here.
They're described differently in different cultures.
One of the problems that a government or a church or anyone has in explaining the extraterrestrial situation is that it requires definitions.
It's just
in order to explain it.
Both contemporary mathematics and
I don't know what that is. We'll put it right there.
acknowledges the fact that there are more than 4 dimensions. It's the most integrative of contemporary theories in physics, called string theory. It requires the notion of having 10 or 11 dimensions, and we typically can have a difficult time measuring things in 3 dimensions, let alone 4 dimensions, adding time. So
didn't
just
save
adding
the
one
signal.
more dimension makes
Just
all
killed our
kinds of possibilities.
computers for a
Time
minute.
travel, interdimensional doorways and gateways and things.
It's kind of cool.
That the rules would hold true.
It's a cool event.
Eventually for folks everywhere. Saints, angels, avatars, ghosts, intergalactic.
I just feel like I'm missing stuff though.
All follow the same rules of interdimensional place hopping.
We coexist. I don't think it's a planet far, far, far away. You know.
All right, what's this?
Not at all. I think we coexist. This is dimensional. We share the same space. We just don't know it.
It wasn't until the quantum physicists started saying, hey, there's lots of realities out there,
Okay.
that we got any kind of backing
All
and
right.
credibility at all.
We'll just stick that right there. Whoever was here last was not having a good time.
In the 60s, when there was a lot of interest in this topic, is that there were so many reports that it was possible to debunk as frauds and people that were just completely unreliable. There also were a set that were never explained.
God forbid that you'd go to an astronomer or to an engineer who's going to say, I'm not even going to bother because we all know for a fact there's no such thing. These people either made a mistake or they're lying.
We went through that whole phase, and that kind of drove the topic off the table in terms of the research community.
Just because we may not have the technology yet to definitively define what these things are, it doesn't mean they're not real.
Meet
We may just be looking
3,
on an AM dial for an FM
0,
As a
-3,
scientist,
9,
it's not understood. Should be
9, 7.
That's just what science is all about.
Follow the data and let the data speak. And if the data takes us in areas where it needs
2, 8,
change our mind,
3, 2, 5,
that's what we need to do.
7.
We used to think the Earth was flat. We now accept that it's round. We used to think that the
2, 1, 8, 4, 2, 3, 6, 3. Let's do this real fast just to check. Did he knock out all the... Oh my gosh, he did. Fucked up a bunch of our servers. 9, 6, 5, 9, 10, 1, 1.
Healing here. I'm a
8, 5.
Not only now with knowledge that I've seen something personally, not only knowledge that I've sought out and found
5, 1,
incredible knowledge,
4,
but
3,
also knowing there are many people that need to be healed, that need to
1,
know that they're not
8.
that it's not a mirage.
I'll sit up somewhere.
Relief to be able to talk about it with someone who understands.
0,
You know, maybe I
4,
get some answers.
7, 1,
and I saw
0.
what I saw. And I'm not afraid to talk about it.
7,
I think it should be shared.
One of the worst things people can do
5,
is keep it bottled up inside you.
1,
I think one of the best things you can do is
2. Oh shit!
There's
I
nothing
clicked
wrong
wrong.
with it. And you'll find out you feel pretty good about it.
It has all the earmarks of a kind of an epiphany, the kind of thing that occurs like once or twice in life that absolutely changes you
3,
forever. And then,
0,
like a good scientist,
6,
you want to say,
1.
why did this happen? Or what does this mean?
Alright. This is pretty bad. A Yankee Charlie Foxtrot. Let's look again. I saw November before. November, Papa, Quebec, Yankee, Charlie Foxtrot.
Hard scientific, empirical
N,
evidence
P,
that
Q.
what's happening to them has a base in reality and is real.
Was it?
That they're not crazy.
Yankee?
What's very exciting at this time
Yankee
is
Charlie
that so
Foxtrot.
many very distinguished, incredible, and educated scientists, researchers, physicians, doctors are coming forward.
It so happened as when it was going on.
I guess it doesn't matter. We just do like a loop. So Charlie November, Yankee, Quebec.
Was consulted on.
For anyone to be still questioning whether there is a phenomena is deluding themselves.
Read about it. There's certainly enough information out there if one wants to and chooses to. It is a choice.
I would only tell the friends that are trusted by me.
Oh my god, this thing must be gigantic. Why is this taking so long? Wait, oh, all our servers are fucked up, so it's going slow.
Many people are not willing to look at something they've had no
It's not gigantic, it's just taking a long time because our servers are broken. I bet the calibrations are all fucked up too, actually.
They at least start thinking.
Steve Couch. Oh yeah, those are bad. Good Bravo, done at least.
Of course, we're not.
Charlie, yeah, all right, Charlie.
Too much out there for us to just be the only living beings in this universe.
False. Oh, no coffee left. All right. I'm at the wrong one already. Fuck. You go to that one. Delta. Shit. Charlie, November, Papa, Quebec, Yankee Foxtrot. Three, 3, 6. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. November, Charlie, November, Papa, Quebec, Yankee, Foxtrot is what I want. November, SD Cal. Weird. Why was it typing everything twice? Papa? I think I picked the wrong one. Early November. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Because that's the other side of that. Can't be the right one. Target. Go back. That's more like it. Yankees the one we want. Oh yeah. I remember. I think we'll just fix these 3 and then we'll stop. Call that good. Finish this trip out in the woods. Should just be Foxtrot left, unless something broke while we were walking around. That's the last one on the list, so if we do Cal All, I guess maybe we don't want to do that, because by the time we get to Foxtrot, it won't be done. Target. That's cool. I think this is it. 6, 2, 1. Alright, that'll just fix everything, I hope. Alright. If we leave one in there, it won't save, so we're gonna just get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll just leave those for next time. I think we're done. Goodbye. Farewell.